How does a man go from touching rock bottom of his career to wearing a watch worth over $600,000? Well, Robert Downey Jr. did. He didn't just rebuild his career, he rebuilt his entire life and made one of the biggest Hollywood comebacks. And surprisingly, every stage of that journey is reflected in the watches he wears. So stick around, because we're counting down Robert Downey Jr.'s incredible watch collection, and the story behind it says more about the man than any interview ever could. So, let's get started. Kicking off the list at number 9 is a watch as bold and unique as Robert Downey Jr.'s career, the TAG Heuer Monaco. First launched by Heuer in 1969, the Monaco broke every rule of watch design at the time with its bold square case, a shape almost nobody had dared put on a wrist before. It became legendary 2 years later when Steve McQueen strapped one on for the 1971 racing film Le Mans, forever linking the watch to old Hollywood cool. But before we understand why Downey chose this exact piece, we need to go back to a Walk of Fame ceremony most fans have already forgotten about. Downey wore this exact reference to Chris Hemsworth's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, standing on stage supporting a co-star instead of promoting himself. No film to sell that day, no press junket, just one actor showing up for another actor's biggest career milestone, wearing a watch that quietly said just as much as any speech he could have given. And the watch specifications really stand out. The 39mm stainless steel case pairs with a sunray blue dial, silver sub-registers, and a bold red chronograph hand that nods straight back to the original. The left side crown, a Monaco signature since day one, remains untouched by decades of redesigns. A small detail that purists appreciate far more than casual fans ever notice. Inside beats the Caliber 11 automatic chronograph movement, a modern take on one of the very first automatic chronograph calibers ever built. It delivers a solid 40-hour power reserve, enough to survive a busy weekend without a wind, and enough reliability to be worn every single day without a second thought. Retailing around $6,500, this is one of the more accessible entries in his collection. However, there was one detail that almost nobody noticed. This watch has no connection to Iron Man, no connection to a brand deal, no connection to anything except two actors who genuinely like each other. There's no press release announcing a partnership, no sponsored post, just a watch worn to support a friend. And that's exactly what makes it such a fitting opener to this list. But as classic as the Monaco is, the next watch takes us straight into Rolex territory. And this one comes with a nickname all its own. Sliding into number 8 is one of the most talked about Rolexes of the last 2 decades, the Submariner, nicknamed the Hulk. Collectors gave it the nickname Hulk for the striking green Cerachrome bezel paired with a matching green sunburst dial, a color combination Rolex had never attempted on this model before. Robert Downey Jr. gave it a different name entirely. And this is where the story gets interesting. In his now famous 2016 GQ video, where he opened up his personal watch box for the first time on camera, he tossed this exact watch across the table like loose change and called it Money Green, laughing the entire time. It wasn't a rehearsed line. It was the kind of nickname that only comes from someone who genuinely wears the thing often enough to have opinions about it. The 40mm oyster steel case houses Rolex's Caliber 3135 automatic movement, a workhorse engine trusted across the brand's sport lineup for decades. It offers a 48-hour power reserve and 300 meters of water resistance, built for depths almost nobody wearing it will ever see, let alone Downey himself. Rolex produced this reference from 2010 until 2020, then discontinued it without a direct replacement. And it wasn't Rolex's decision that mattered most. It was what happened after. Today, it trades between $18,000 and $25,000 depending on condition, and that number has only climbed since production stopped. On Downey's wrist, this watch looks cool and elegant, making it one of the more subtle timepieces in his collection. The Hulk may have become one of Rolex's most collectible modern watches, but the next piece wasn't chosen for hype. It was chosen for one of the biggest nights of Robert Downey Jr.'s life. Taking the 7th spot is a watch tied to one of the biggest nights of Robert Downey Jr.'s entire career. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Tribute Chronograph in 18-karat pink gold. Robert was spotted wearing this masterpiece when he won his first Oscar for his work in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. And this model's specifications show why he wore it on one of the most important occasions of his career. The pink gold Reverso Tribute Chronograph pairs timeless Art Deco elegance with one of the most sophisticated movements Jaeger-LeCoultre has ever built. Its 49.4 by 29.9 mm, 18-karat pink gold reversible case houses the hand-wound Caliber 860, beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and delivering a 52-hour power reserve. The front features a refined black sunray dial with Dauphine hands, while flipping the case reveals a stunning open-worked reverse displaying the chronograph mechanism, a retrograde 30-minute counter, and a second-time display. With 300 components, a column wheel chronograph, and a case just 11.14 millimeters thick, it's a remarkable showcase of both engineering and elegance. At this point, you might be wondering why a polo watch from the 1930s would matter to a man best known for playing a billionaire in a metal suit. The answer lies in a detail most people overlook. Downey wore this exact piece to the 2024 Golden Globes, then again to the 2024 Academy Awards. The night he won his first Oscar, taking home Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. Think about that for a second. Decades removed from a courtroom, he stood on the biggest stage in his industry wearing a watch that flips in half to reveal an entirely different face underneath. A watch built around the idea of hidden depth, worn by a man whose entire career had just proven exactly that. With a retail price sitting around $37,000, this isn't a watch chosen for shock value. This is a watch made for like-minded people like Downey. Winning an Oscar completed one chapter of his story, but the next Jaeger-LeCoultre takes us back to the role that made that comeback possible. Landing at number 6 is the watch Robert Downey Jr. himself called his favorite, the Jaeger-LeCoultre AMVOX3 Tourbillon GMT. He wore it during filming and also at the premiere for Iron Man 2, and on his own wrist, completely separate from anything Tony Stark ever touched on screen. While the character was busy building suits of armor between takes, the actor playing him was wearing one of the most complicated watches the brand had ever produced. But the real surprise was still hidden, and it wouldn't come out for another 7 years. The 44mm case is matte black ceramic with 18-karat pink gold accents, built through a direct partnership between Jaeger-LeCoultre and Aston Martin. The skeletonized dial looks less like a traditional watch face and more like an instrument panel pulled straight out of a sports car. All exposed gears and mechanical texture instead of a clean, simple surface. In that same 2016 GQ video, Robert picked this piece up differently than the others, more carefully, and said something that stuck with fans ever since. Probably his best watch. Inside runs the Caliber 988, a self-winding movement built specifically for this model and nothing else. It carries a 1-minute tourbillon at 6 o'clock, a full GMT complication, and a retrograde date display that snaps back cleanly at the end of every month instead of slowly rolling forward like most date watches. Limited to only 300 pieces, this watch retails for around $76,000 to $99,000, and it fits Robert perfectly. In that single moment, him casually calling one watch out of an entire box his favorite, fans started paying attention to every single watch he wore, scanning red carpet photos and premiere footage, looking for the next surprise. While the AMVOX3 showed us Robert's favorite watch, the next piece reveals what happens when admiration turns into collaboration. Coming in at number 5 is one of the strangest, boldest watches Robert Downey Jr. has ever worn in public, the Urwerk UR-111C Black Cobra. Because this wasn't just another ordinary decision. His relationship with Urwerk began in 2017 when he personally invited the small independent Swiss workshop onto the set of Spider-Man: Homecoming. That invitation eventually led to Urwerk designing watches worn on screen by Tony Stark himself in the final Avengers films, a level of creative involvement almost no other actor has ever had with an independent watchmaker. Downey wore this exact piece, the Black Cobra, to the Avengers Endgame premieres in both Los Angeles and New York in 2019, back-to-back on both coasts in front of 2 entirely different crowds of photographers. The case is 42 by 46 millimeters in PVD-coated steel and titanium, sitting sideways across the wrist rather than upright like a traditional watch. Not just that, time is told through jumping digital hours, a linear retrograde minute display, and a small seconds indicator rendered entirely in digital form. A layout that looks more like something out of a spacecraft cockpit than a wristwatch. Only 25 examples of this watch were ever made. Priced around $160,000, this is not a watch built for easy reading at a glance. It takes a few seconds of focus just to figure out what time it's actually showing, and that's entirely intentional. That effort, choosing something almost nobody in the room would recognize, is exactly the appeal. It's a watch for the wearer, not for the audience. That's why it suits Downey's personality perfectly. The Black Cobra proved Robert wasn't afraid to wear something nobody else understood. But the next Urwerk explains where that obsession actually began. Taking the 4th spot is the watch that started his entire relationship with Urwerk, the UR-110RG. Robert wore it on screen as Tony Stark's watch in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and in one scene it was used as a functional gadget. Downey wanted his character wearing something almost nobody in the audience would recognize, the kind of watch a real tech billionaire might actually seek out, instead of the kind a marketing department picks for him. And its specifications really stand out among other watches in his closet. The titanium case is paired with an 18-karat rose gold bezel, and time is displayed through satellite hour indicators that physically rotate across a vertical minute track built into the case itself. It looks less like a watch and more like a piece of retro-futuristic machinery, something that belongs in a science fiction film rather than a jewelry case. Only 55 of these were ever produced, and the reference has been fully discontinued since. But here's where things become surprising. After filming Wrapped, Downey and Urwerk auctioned off this exact screen-worn watch through Philips in Geneva in May of 2018. It collected around 150,000 Swiss francs, with every dollar going to a nonprofit supporting development work in Haiti. Urwerk then built him a second one, identical in every detail, and simply gave it to him as a personal gift afterward, essentially replacing the watch they had just watched him give away for charity. The Urwerk was born from creativity and generosity, but the next watch wasn't bought or designed for a movie. It came from someone far more important. Landing at number 3 is the most personal watch in Robert Downey Jr.'s entire collection, the Patek Philippe Nautilus Moonphase, reference 37121A. This one didn't come from a stylist. It didn't come from a brand relationship either. And this is where the story gets interesting. His wife Susan gave it to him directly, as a personal gift, with no red carpet attached to the moment at all, no press coverage, no official photo. Downey's specific piece is the stainless steel Nautilus Moonphase, reference 37121A, the rarer predecessor to the better-known 57121A. The 3712 was in production for only 1 year, 2005 to 2006, before being replaced by the 5712 with its updated 3-part case construction. In his interview with GQ in 2016, Downey called this watch, in his own words, easily the most glamorous watch a man can have. Its stainless steel monoblock case measures around 40 millimeters in diameter while maintaining a slim profile of just under 9 millimeters, making it both elegant and highly wearable. The watch features a striking blue-to-black gradient sunburst dial with horizontal embossed lines, white gold applied hour markers, and a unique layout with a moon phase display, pointer date, small seconds, and the iconic 3-dot power reserve indicator. Powering this masterpiece is the ultra-thin automatic caliber 240 PS IRMCLU movement, equipped with a 22-karat gold micro rotor, operating at 21,600 vibrations per hour with around 48 hours of power reserve. Protected by a sapphire crystal and offering 60 meters of water resistance, it is completed with Patek Philippe's signature integrated stainless steel bracelet and folding clasp, making it a true collector's grail, with a market price ranging from $135,000 to $210,000. It is full of elegance and class. When a Hollywood icon receives a watch this rare, it is not just a gift. It becomes a symbol of love, legacy, and timeless style. For him, this isn't just one of the most collectible Patek Philippe watches ever made. It is a reminder of the person who helped him write his greatest comeback story. The Nautilus may be the most personal watch in his collection, but the next one is where personal meaning gives way to mechanical obsession. Taking the runner-up spot is a watch Robert Downey Jr. treated with almost no caution at all. The Greubel Forsey Double Tourbillon 30 degrees technique. In April of 2019, he wore this watch to the Avengers Endgame cast handprint ceremony at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. He didn't take the watch off. He pressed his hand straight into the wet concrete with a $560,000 timepiece still strapped to his wrist. The Double Tourbillon 30 degrees technique is a breathtaking display of mechanical engineering, built to push the limits of precision and craftsmanship. At its heart is Greubel Forsey's revolutionary Double Tourbillon, featuring an inner cage that rotates every 60 seconds, while the outer cage completes a full rotation every 4 minutes to improve accuracy in every position. Not just that, the hand-wound caliber GF-02S delivers an impressive 120-hour power reserve. Available in black ADLC-coated titanium, platinum, or even synthetic sapphire, its imposing 47.5mm case makes a bold statement on the wrist. Greubel Forsey builds 100 to 250 watches a year, entirely by hand out of a small workshop in Switzerland that most people outside serious horology circles have genuinely never heard of, despite being considered one of the most technically respected independent brands in the entire industry. Some watches are meant to tell time, but this one tells the world exactly who is wearing it. On Robert Downey Jr.'s wrist, it's a perfect match between fearless engineering and personality. Just like the actor himself, the watch refuses to follow convention, turning an already rare masterpiece into one of the most unforgettable pieces in his extraordinary collection. And somehow, that still isn't the most expensive watch he's ever worn in public. Most collectors would consider this the crown jewel of a lifetime. Robert Downey Jr. somehow saved an even greater masterpiece for last. The #1 watch in Robert Downey Jr.'s collection is also the most valuable piece he has ever been photographed wearing: the Greubel Forsey GMT Tourbillon in red gold. He wore it to the Avengers Infinity War premiere in Los Angeles in April of 2018, and its retail price sits at $605,000, making it the single most expensive watch in his entire collection and one of the rarest pieces ever worn to a movie premiere. This is a 43.5mm hand wound piece featuring a rotating 3-dimensional titanium globe, a 24-second inclined tourbillon, 24 time zones, and a 72-hour power reserve from twin spring barrels. Given that the film was about saving the universe, the tiny spinning globe on the dial was a fitting and possibly subconscious nod to the plot. Greubel Forsey makes only 22 watches of this edition per year, each finished to a standard that leaves most mainstream luxury brands looking industrial. The GMT Tourbillon isn't just the most expensive watch in his collection, it's the clearest proof of exactly how far he came. And there you have it, Robert Downey Jr.'s incredible watch collection. Every piece has a story and a memory attached to it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which watch from Robert Downey Jr.'s collection surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.